Good morning to everyone. I am Krishnavali, Assistant Professor from the Department of Computer Application in Rogini College of Engineering and Technology. Today's subject is Applied Software Engineering with Design and Development. Topic is building a simple system architecture layered as well as client server. Building simple system architecture. First one is layer. Layer architecture is a way of organizing software code into separate layers, each responsible for specific concern or responsibility, like a cake. Each layer has a job. They are stacked on one on top of the another. This pattern is also known as n-tier architecture. Common layers in layer architectures are presentation layer UI, business layer service, precedence layer data access, database layer. In this below example is simple layered architecture. Next, presentation layer, that is UI. This is the topmost layer, the one users interact with. It is responsible for displaying information, capturing user input, sending the request to the business layer. For example, HTML pages, React Angular applications, Android or iOS mobile use. For real world example, when you click the place button in a e-commerce site, that is Flipkart, Amazon, etc. The button is the part of presentation layer. It collects the information from the user, that means a card item, address, and send to the next layer. This is the presentation layer. Next, business layer, that means service. This layer contains the core logic of our application, rules, validation, and computation. Responsibilities: validating user input, that is promo code validate, executing rules, should an discount be applied, anything else. This is the control. This is control of workflow. For example, order validation is an e-commerce app. Tax calculation, authorization logic in login system. Real world is after placing an order, the layer check if all requirement fields are filled or not, and then calculate delivery time and apply the promotions. This is the working principle of business layer or service layer. Next is presidential layer, data access. In this layer, manage communication between the business logic and the actual database. It is abstract. It is hidden the how the data is stored and retrieved. The responsibilities are executing database queries, mapping database record to the application objects, and using ORM, object relational mapper. Examples: Node.js, Java, SQL in Python. In real world example, when the business layer requests all unpaid invoice, in this data access layer, construct the SQL query, execute it, and return the structured result. This is the working principle of the data access layer. Next, database layer. In this layer, actually database system where the data resides, stores. Example: relational, MySQL, Oracle. These are the examples. In real world, this is where all user data, order history, product inventory, and other application data are physically stored and retrieved from the application. This is the working principle of database layer. Next, client server architecture. The client server model is distributed application structure that task or workload between the provider of resource or service called servers and a service request called client. In this client servers or architecture, when the client computer send a request for a data to the server throughout the internet, the server accepts the request process and deliver the data packet requested back to the client. The client do not share any other resource. For example, the client server model are email, World Wide Web, etc. This is the model of or a design of client side architecture. First, user request website. CDN serves HTML with JS link. Next, browser download HTML and JavaScript. Browser download the JavaScript. JavaScript execution on API call. Server respond with the data. Data fill placeholder. In this design, combine client and in this design only in a client side design. Next, in the client and server architecture, categorize 4 types. First one, N tier, single tier, 2 tier, 3 tier and N tier. Let's discuss about one by one. Single tier. In this type of model, the client and server are embedded in the same system. One tier architecture, the user interface, business logic and data logic are all on the same system. MS Office and a music file for the MP3 player are the example of the one tier. Two tier, two computer, traditional client server arrangement. In this type of architecture, the client interface is stored on the client system, whereas the database is stored on the servers. Client information is stored in the client system. The database is stored in the server side. In this type of architecture, the server and the client are directly connected and there is no intermediate between them. The architecture type delivery the resource at very fast rate. Two-tier architecture typically used in online ticket reservation system. Next is three-tier structure. This type of architecture requires a middle layer. In this type of client-server architecture, when the client sends the request to the server, it does not reach the server directly. It passes through the middle layer. In almost all cases, a three design is used online application. Next is N-tier structure. The scaled down version of the three-tier structure is the N-tier structure. The process, data management and presentation functions are separate into different layers in such settings. The system is simple to run and maintain because of the isolation.